Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, folks. And here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Oh my God, guys, we made it. It's hump day. Oh, downhill to the weekend from here, Natch. By the time we finish the lunchtime show today, we're freewheeling down to the weekend, sir. Yeah. I've got a good day ahead of me. A day with no filming. Yesterday was a long day. Today I just sit on my computer and do computer things. Reply to some emails. Oh, Natch, reply to emails? Oh my God. Is my bar set so low on happiness? I think it is. I think it really is. How you doing out there, folks? Yeah, that's right. You're listening to the one and only ProBoh Show with me and the Natch. Let's see what's coming up in today's show. Oh my God, guys, we have a good show. The elves have been busy today. The elves have been busy, locked in their little cupboard, where I don't let them out. I don't let them see the light until they finish preparing my show. Here's what we've got coming up for today. I asked 100 humans to name something that you can't get rid of. Name something you can't get rid of. No STDs here in the list. Then we look in today's Complete the News. We check out what a Bank of England economist has told people they need to accept. And we look at a zoo in England. I realize I've been very America centric recently. You know, pull it to the UK. I mean, that's Europe's America, isn't it? The European village idiot. Hey, I'm English. I can say this. You know what I mean? How are we doing? I just want to say good morning to Pedro, who says good morning, to the bridge. Good morning, good people. And to Born to Iron Man, who says good morning, ProBoh Showers. Good morning, guys. If you want to join in the chat, just like the good people who are joining me live right now, it's very easy. You can help participate in the show's content just like them by going to twitch.tv/professional bohemian. And you can also interact with me outside of the show on my Instagram at professional bohemian. All right, there we go. I've done all the promotion now, guys. Also in the show, we've got today's unpopular opinion, which is a good one. By MJ Symbol, who mentioned it in another program of mine. And we're doing it today. And I just want a special shout out to Lagui on Instagram, LAAUGUI, whose boyfriend is doing English exams. She listens to the show every day. Good luck, Mr. Lagui, with your English exams. And thank you for your for listening. All right, yes, so today's unpopular opinion is about the good old days, Natch. The good old days. Those days where everything was simple. Or maybe it wasn't. Let's see. But before we do all that, guys, I'm here, you're here. Let's look at some news. I have some AI news today, Natch. I'm going to throw it in there so people don't notice. First of all, I want to talk about TikTok. You don't use TikTok, right, Natch? No. Do you ever catch yourself scrolling Instagram Reels?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, man.
Últimamente.
Yeah, me too, dude. This short form video is too addictive. It's too addictive, man. Even I'm caught up in the mess. I like to make my little short form videos. Look at Rob saying funny things. And you know what? I hate it, and I hate myself for doing it. Can I tell you why? I hate it because, it'll take me quite a while to put together a show clip. You know, put the subtitles on, I edit out the silences, upload it, some witty comment that I've made. No one looks at it. Creak, 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 like crickets. And then, you know, I spend 2 minutes making a stupid video of my dog. 14,000 views. Oh, come on, people. How you doing, JC? Welcome. Interact with Rob. He will answer you, says the bridge. Occasionally. Occasionally. Look, I'm not perfect. I'm a flawed being, you know? So here we go. You've probably seen these videos, these short-form videos, Natch, where it's a person doing some altruistic thing. Like, here's $1,000 because you dropped some change in a cup or something. You know, you showed a minimum amount of charity. Here's $10,000. You've seen videos like that, right? That's not my imagination. Okay. So here we go. Here's a piece of news from, I believe it was Insider. Yeah, insider.com. A TikToker, someone who uses TikTok, a famous TikToker, was confused and ended up in tears, crying, when strangers refused her offer to pay for their groceries. So she's in a supermercado, like in Mercadona, but the equivalent in her country. And she says, hey, I'd like to pay for your groceries. And people say no. If someone came up to you, a TikToker, someone's filming them, and they've got a little microphone and a little envelope full of cash and says, hey, can I pay for your groceries? Would you let them? Tell you what, I would. I would not stop. I would be like, yeah, of course. In fact, I would say, follow me. And I'd kind of try and talk to her. And while I'm talking, I would make sure I filled my cart with more things. Absolutely. If you're going to be so stupid, why not? Okay, so let's continue with this news from Insider.com. Amelia Goldsmith was in tears. She was in tears, Natch, poor thing. After her efforts to pay for a stranger's groceries didn't pan out. It didn't go as planned. This TikToker said she wanted to pay for someone's shopping to cheer them up. You know, to spread the love. But several people refused the offer, prompting Goldsmith to say she felt sad and overwhelmed. Sad and overwhelmed. Geez, she should come here. I worked 12 hours yesterday. I had lunch at 7 p.m. Come over here, Amelia. I'll show you overwhelmed. Okay, let's continue. The TikToker ended up in tears when her plan to buy strangers' groceries did not go as expected. I'm nervous, she said in the video, which has been viewed nearly 700,000 times. Jeez Louise. I just hope they don't look at me thinking I'm some kind of weirdo. Dude, Amelia, if you're listening, can someone send this to Amelia Goldsmith? People definitely think you're a weirdo. Don't worry about it, though. It's good to be weird. After several failed attempts, Goldsmith hadn't found anyone who accepted her offer and ended up saying she felt sad and overwhelmed. That was really stressful, she told the camera. Oh, man. Every time, I want to be on her side because I know how hard it is to make content. But this was really stressful. She's walking around a supermarket with a camera. Oh, my God, the stress. I was expecting the first person to be like overjoyed and grateful and happy for me to pay for their shopping, but obviously that didn't go down well. So Natch, I pose the question to you again. Would you, if someone, a TikToker with a camera, a little camera crew, came up to you, you're with your family, maybe you, let's set the scene. It's you, it's Lady Natch and Baby Natches. You're in the supermarket. A young, let's say a 20-year-old girl comes up to you and says, I want to pay for your groceries. Do you accept? I'll be honest now, I did say I would, but probably if I'm with my family in a group of people, I would say no. I can take care of my own business, thank you. Go bother someone else.
I would say no.
Yeah.
First of all, because I would think something smells fishy. And I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a TikToker or if it's a scam.
Yeah, I hear you.
But saying no, like, no, go and pay for other guy that needs more.
More than me.
I've seen it, so many videos of that maybe you get more money.
Yeah.
If you do a good thing. So say no, maybe it's better.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, and I don't know why it is, but I feel a little. I don't like these altruism porn kind of videos where Mr. Beast gives away a house, or, they're just giving away 100,000. I don't like it. Because it's not, don't get me wrong. I've made the argument a ton of times. Altruism does not exist. Everything anyone does, any charitable act, is done for some kind of ulterior motive. At least these content creators are very transparent about why they do it. To get more views. But I feel like because they're not participating in the lie, of like altruism, because they're not participating in the lie of, I do it because I'm a good person. It kind of annoys me. It annoys me that we're lifting the veil on how crappy humans we really are. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let's see. Good morning, MJ Symbol. Welcome, all the way from Madrid, Spain. Nice to see you, my dude. In fact, today's unpopular opinion is yours, Symbol. Well, she ended up making a popular content with her tears and crying. People do everything to be watched, says Pedro. It's true, but it's always been like that, Pedro. I remember there was a show for teens, for young people. Let's not really teens, for young people in England. I can't even remember the word it was called. And they had a section of the show, I would do anything to be on television. And basically it was people doing disgusting stuff, like licking people's armpits and things like that, just to be on television, just to get their 5 minutes of fame. Oh, come on. Let's see. Why not? Ask Symbol about having someone pay for your groceries. Why not? I have to admit, it would be purely pride that would lead me to say no. It would probably be good for me to have a week where I didn't have to pay for shopping, with shopping being so expensive right now. But pride would lead me to say no. I read this story and I kind of felt bad for poor Amelia Goldsmith, who was in tears. But I kind of understand it. Having if someone so young came up to me and said, look, I'm going to pay for all your groceries. Me as a 45-year-old man who should have his life together, and knowing that would do me the world of good, I would, my pride would be, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's irrational. But I would say no. I'd let her pay my bill. She wouldn't try when she sees me in Mercadona shopping for the whole family. That's from Pedro, yeah. Yeah, I do like one shop every 2 weeks, and I'm with you. I walk around with my little carrito de compras, my little shopping cart, like the old women have. Do you know, I get jealous, Natch. I see other old people's shopping carts, like really old people, like, and I get jealous. Like mine, like the ones with 3 wheels that can go upstairs. Oh, it's the Rolls Royce of shopping carts, Natch. Mine only has 2. I have to agree with you, Rob. I firmly believe in Hobbes and his idea on egoism. Yeah, me too. Like, it doesn't really... look, it just annoys me. This kind of content annoys me because they're lifting the veil on the true nature of altruism, and I think the lie is valuable. It's a valuable lie that we believe that, that altruism exists in its purest form. It doesn't. But that knowledge should be kept to a wise few, I think. Okay, let's continue. Symbol, if Vaughn said you don't have to work this month and you would get paid, would you really say no? Or I would, like, they wouldn't even finish the sentence, Symbol, and I'd already be out the door. You know what, Rob? You don't have to work this month, and I'd already be outside on the metro home. Min says, as a Dutchie, it is physically impossible for me to turn down free stuff. Yeah, I get it. Even if there was a camera pointed at you. Think about the pressure in that moment. If you're there with your family, there's a camera pointed at you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying it's a rational decision, because it's not. The rational decision would be yes. Pay for my laundry and my shopping and my rent, please. That's the rational decision. But we all suffer from a certain amount of irrationality. And I just don't like that content. Again, I see value in the lie of altruism. I see value in it. We all want to live in a world where actual altruism exists. You know? Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue, guys, because there's more juicy things to talk about. I want to talk a tiny little bit, about the blue check mark, the famous blue check mark, especially when it's related to Twitter. There's some news came out from Axios. Again, all these links, guys, they live in my Patreon, where I upload the VOD, so you can access that and check out this news for yourself. As you know, last week, Elon Musk removed all the blue check marks from people who are not paying for Twitter Blue. And then, over the weekend, blue check marks started appearing again. And Elon Musk said he personally paid for people's blue check marks. Accounts with over 1 million followers that used to be verified were all of a sudden verified again. And the weirdest thing happened. The blue check mark turned from a badge of honor to a badge of shame. Twitter is a weird ecosystem, isn't it? Isn't it? So here we go. This is from Axios. Twitter verified confusion leaves checkmark badge of dishonor. A badge of dishonor. Twitter users are pushing back against Elon Musk's new pay for verification policy, with many journalists and celebrities opting to cancel their subscriptions out of embarrassment instead of keeping their blue checks. It used to be, remember, Elon Musk doesn't understand why verification existed. I'm convinced of it. Because verification existed because people used to create fake accounts of celebrities and post as them. It's to cut down on scams that may exist within social media. Damn, we're running out of time, man. I wanted to really deep dive into this. Maybe we'll come back to it again another day. So what has happened is you've got this slew of celebrities who've received their blue check marks again and are making posts and going public saying, I did not pay for Twitter Blue. This is not me. This is Elon Musk. And the weirdest thing is, even people with there are people who are dead right now with blue check marks saying these people have subscribed to Twitter Blue. Here, like Chadwick Boseman, who died in 2020, Kobe Bryant, an NBA star. And, they're not subscribing to Twitter Blue, Natch. They're dead. So anyway, how the blue check mark has turned into a badge of dishonor for Twitter. Fascinating to see Twitter crumbling. Yeah. You know what we're going to do, Natch? We're going to go to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh my God, friends, what is an unpopular opinion? Allow me to tell you. An unpopular opinion is a brain fart, un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental. I share it with you on my social media. You can find those polls on Instagram.com/professional bohemian or @professional bohemian. Today's brain fart is a good one. It was gifted to us by MJ Symbol. Rayada, apparently. A Rayada brain fart. Is that right, Natch? Rayada? He's nodding.
What?
It wasn't me, it was Symbol. But that nivelathos for you, Symbol. I kept 10% of it as a transference fee. So today's brain fart was, things were better in the good old days. Things used to be better in the past, Natch. Remember that glorious past where families were closer and, the sun always shone? Do you remember that? Me neither. No, things were better in the good old days. The elves have prepared us some pros and cons, but firstly, I want to go to some messages I received with regards to this. Things were so much better back in the day. This is from Sarah. Thanks for reaching out. Families were closer. Life was simpler and people actually talked to each other. Nowadays, everyone's glued to their screens and it's just not the same. Another one. Nowadays, we have all this cool tech that makes our lives easier and we can express ourselves way more. The old days may have been simpler, but they were also kind of boring, don't you think? Angela. Well, this might be my cousin Angela. Hello, if you're listening. I think the focus should be on making our present more sustainable and equal. We can learn from the past, but we've got to move forward and improve things for everyone. All right, thanks for... I love it when you send me messages like this on Instagram, guys. It rocks. What do you think, Natch? Were things better back in the good old days?
For me, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes, but I'm not sure if it's a matter of my age or the good old days.
Yeah.
Not sure, but definitely.
Normally people miss the old times simply because they were younger back then. It's nostalgia for their lives, not for the old days. That's from Pedro. Yeah, we're going to dig into this. First of all, the elves were busy working away this morning, so let's read what they wrote. Here we go. In the pro column, things were better in the good old days. Life in the past was often perceived as simpler, with fewer choices and distractions, leading to a more straightforward and less stressful lifestyle. Tight-knit communities and strong interpersonal connections were more common in the past, providing a sense of belonging and support. The pace of life and work was generally slower, potentially allowing for a better balance between professional and personal commitments. Before the ubiquity of screens... Oh, God, dude. Natch, the elves. That dictionary we bought them for Christmas is really working. The ubiquity of screens... Before the ubiquity of screens and digital devices, people may have engaged more in face-to-face interactions and outdoor activities, promoting healthier lifestyles and stronger relationships. In the con column, things were not necessarily better in the good old days. Here we go. In the past, opportunities for education, travel, and personal growth were often more limited, particularly for marginalized groups. Health and technology. Modern advances in healthcare and technology have significantly improved quality of life, leading to longer lifespans and better treatment for various medical conditions. Society has made significant strides in terms of civil rights, gender equality, and LGBTQ+ rights, making the present more inclusive and equitable than the past. And finally, the final point from the elves today. The perception that the good old days were better may be influenced by nostalgia. Yeah, this is kind of echoing what Pedro wrote to us there. Selectively remembering positive aspects while overlooking challenges and hardships of the past. Let's see what people are saying. I do believe some things were better in the past, in the 80s or 90s. Even Pedro Almodovar said recently that we were more free in the 80s. What's freedom? Tell me what freedom is. I don't think humans have unless you're rich, there is no such thing as freedom. Let me tell you. Modern slavery, man. You know, do you call working 8 hours a day freedom? Or working 16 hours a day, whatever you work? Do you call that freedom? You know, for me, it's the illusion of choice. You know, you choose your slavery. More free in the 80s. More free to what? Express yourself. Even if those ideas are hurtful to other people. Is that freedom? Interesting. Good, Pedro, I like this. Can we get Pedro a ProBoh approved?
ProBoh approved.
Well, this show is all about, guys. It's about hearing and playing with different opinions. MJ Symbol. Sometimes I wonder, do people just say this? Do people really believe it? Or is it just because you are longing for your childhood because you were a big old fart? says Symbol. Okay, I have thoughts on this. I think so much of our ideas about the good old days are nostalgia. I mean, it seems to me like as soon as someone passes their 40s, we start to remember the past as if it was some kind of golden age of life and living, right? And look, this is not just our generations. for generations in the past, things were so much better. I remember my grandfather saying it to my mother saying it to me. Natch, you must have heard generationally people saying that, right? Things used to be so much better when we were younger. And I simply don't think that that's the truth. We're going to talk about a phenomena called negative bias. I think this is a good time to bring this topic up. Negative bias. How bad we are at decision making, but particularly about negative bias. Because I think that has a big part to play in whether things were or were not better in the good old days. Guys, I'm going to take a very quick break. I will post a poll in the chat. So before I get a chance to influence you too much, you're going to tell me, were things better in the good old days? Entre comillas, in inverted commas. All right, friends, guys, let me tell you something. I'm having a lot of fun this morning. You know, there's just so many things you could have been doing today. So many things. Instead of doing those things, you're here with me and Natch, and it means the absolute world. I will see you in 4 minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're listening to the ProBoh Show. If you're lucky enough to be joining us live on Instagram or on Twitch or the radio, it's currently 9 a.m. Central European Time. And if you're listening at any other time, that means you're one of the glorious, the amazing, the wonderful, the angelic podcast listeners. Guys, thank you for making this month one of the best months of downloads we've ever had. And for subscribing to the YouTube channel, for sharing my videos and helping promote the show. Let me tell you something, guys, that organic promotion, that you enjoy something and you share it with a friend is the most powerful form of advertising that there is. And I am so immensely grateful for your efforts and the fact that you do this. I think it's amazing. So it's an absolute honor, and thank you so very much. Okay, so if you just tuned in, what are you missing? We spoke about the TikToker Amelia Goldsmith left confused, saddened, and in tears because when she offered to pay for people's groceries, they said no. Weird. Or is it? Because I think I would say no too. Quite irrationally so. Because it's one of those things that would happen, then I would immediately think to myself, you idiot. Why did he say no? And then we spent probably not long enough talking about how the verified blue checkmark on Twitter has become a badge of dishonor. It's become a badge of dishonor. Okay, and then we moved into today's unpopular opinion. Excuse me, guys, I'm just writing down the results of the poll. Which was, things were better in the good old days. How do you think people voted on Instagram, Natch?
They said yes.
They said true? By a lot, by a little?
Quite a lot.
It was actually false. 58% on Instagram. Things were not better in the good old days. I have the results from the poll that we've done right here. The people, the real decision makers, are the ones that live in the chat. Let's see what people were saying through the break, friends. Pedro's on fire today. Natch, do you think it's a thing? Am I insane thinking that the good old days phenomena that people say, oh, the good old days? I mean, that's something that is multi-generational, right? That's not just our generation.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about on the lunchtime show yesterday about like things that you're sick of hearing people older than you say. And someone said, like, made a comment about Franco, right? Franco would have never let that happen. Now, I'm a Giri, and I've heard that from older generation Spaniards. And I'm thinking, and that doesn't kind of compute for me because I've never lived under a dictatorship, and the fact that people would say, the dictator was so cool. That just blows my mind. Do you know what I mean? That blows my mind. And it is a multi-generational thing. And the proof is in the wording. The good old days. The good old days. I mean, that's a frase hecha. That's an idiom. You know, something doesn't become an idiom overnight. You know, people have been using that phrase for I want to say centuries. I don't know exactly. I'll check out the etymology of that phrase later. But here we go. So let's read some chat. Let's see what people were saying. So yeah, things were better in the good old days. Pedro's still on fire. I find the idea of missing the days of our youth is more common in my generation. Oh, no, Pedro. Me and you are around the same age, and it's not. It's something that's gone on. And this is, he actually said as well, just above that. Sorry, I missed that, guys. My grandparents lived through the Civil War here, so they never felt nostalgia for the old days. My grandfather lived through World War II. And he was born and he must have been born or been young around the First World War. And he would constantly talk about the good old days, because the good old days is not about being free of war. It's about it's about nostalgia for the past, how simple it was back then, and how confusing it is now. And he was saying this in the 90s. I suppose there's been a significant change in how people interact in the last 20 years, even more significantly comparing the change in previous generation. We're still adapting to that, and it creates a frustration on certain levels of nostalgia. Yeah, that's a great point. Can we get Pedro another ProBoh approved?
ProBoh approved.
Min, also people tend to notice some small things that were better but lose the bigger picture due to it. If 500 aspects have remained the same or have improved and one aspect of life has declined, then people tend to make a big deal out of that one singular issue. Negativity bias. I was going to talk about this, and Min actually summed it up perfectly. Chef's kiss. Another ProBoh approved, Natch.
ProBoh approved.
It's true. These things have remained the same or improved. But there's one thing that is very important to me right now. Is worse. So therefore, life and society is worse. And it's not the case. Negativity bias. The older I get, the less I miss the good old days, says the bridge. Nostalgia doesn't bring anything good, says Pedro. Okay, Urs is here. How are you doing, Urs? I don't think you look like a slave worker, but you have to do it for your salary. But it would be pointless if we don't have a job to fulfill ourselves. I don't see myself like a slave. The other point of your pool, the old days always seem to be better, even though they aren't. And I don't know why. It's a difficult question. Maybe nostalgia, as you said before. Have a good day, guys. You have a good day, Urs. Can we get another ProBoh approved? You guys.
ProBoh approved.
Killing it. And thank you, Urs. You don't feel like a slave. Sometimes I do. Natch, do you ever feel like a slave? You feel like you're a slave to the 1% of people that own 40% of the world's wealth?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. When it's put like that, right? When the reality is dropped. All right, let's continue. Anyway, so we're talking about the good old days. Let's talk about the good old days. So we've discussed that it's a multi-generational thing, right? Grandparents, parents, probably their parents before them. You know, things were so much simpler. Things are so much worse nowadays. Well, look, let me break it down for you. In the last 150 years, life expectancy has just shot up. We're all living longer. Child mortality over the last 200 years has decreased immensely. In 1820, this is 200 years ago, child mortality was 40%. 40%. If you had 10 kids, 6 would survive. Literacy. You know, 200 years ago, 88% illiterate, and now 14%. Extreme poverty has dropped to about 10% today. And again, from 200 years ago, 1820, it was at 90%. In what metric were things better in the past? Because in every metric that counts, life expectancy, child mortality, illiteracy, and extreme poverty, we are living in an age of abundance, guys. And just because people use their mobile phones, that doesn't change that. My kid doesn't socialize enough, but you have a kid. He's alive and healthy. Congratulations. Welcome to 2023. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wanted to talk about negativity bias a little bit, but Min actually, wow, beautifully summed it up there. So I will kind of add a little bit. Saying, highlighting the media. The news tends to only accentuate the bad things, right? Because that's what captures people's attention. And don't believe it. Don't believe it. There was still spin and lies in the 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s. I mean, geez Louise. You know what I mean? Things haven't changed. The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's a very common Anglo idiom. In most metrics, we've improved. And plus, if you don't think that things have improved, that's because maybe you're like me. You know what I mean? I'm a middle-aged, straight white man. You know, and for me, has life improved in the last 30 years? No, it's kind of stayed the same. But if I was a woman, or if I was a member of a different community, for a different gender, if the color of my skin were different, maybe I would notice how things had improved a lot. A little bit of perspective is a good thing. So I actually don't think the good old days were better. I don't, because the world is a community, right? And just because things have stayed the same for me doesn't mean they haven't improved for other people. And they have, if you look at the metrics that really count. But you know what? What I think doesn't matter. Let's see what you guys think. In today's Twitch poll, our live viewers reached out and let us know, were things better in the good old days? So here we go. The topic was, things were better in the good old days, true or false, Natch? Can I get a drum roll? 75% false. Yeah, things were not better in the good old days. I mean, and you still hear it. You'll still persist in hearing it. The best time to be alive is right now, guys. And you know what? We've been able to say that for the last 200 years because things have always improved. Things are improving. I totally agree with what you said, Rob. I also voted false. Thank you, Pedro. Guys, you guys are doing great work today. So on that note, I think we should go to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God, friends. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today. I had to lock the elves into their cupboard. They were trying to escape. It was a long walk to work today, and on that walk I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. The question today was, name something you try to get rid of but always seems to come back. Name something you try to get rid of. You try to you try to make it go away. You try to get rid of, but it always seems to come back. All right, guys. So name something you try to get rid of, but always seems to come back. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers right here. There's a little bit of drama in the office, right, Natch? Yeah. I can see it back there.
Apparently someone se ha desmayado.
Yeah. Ay, poor thing. Okay, so here we go. We have some answers in the chat. Okay, Natch. Something you try to get rid of, but always seems to come back. What do you think?
Don't know. I'm going to say a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Girlfriend or a boyfriend? God, it's good to be Natch, man. It's good to be Natch. Okay. Is a girlfriend or a boyfriend there? Yes, it is. Well done, Natch. You know, it actually says men. It just says men. But you know what? We're going to say men, women, whatever. A partner, a person. Men. Is it there? Yes, it is. It's 18 of 100 humans said a girlfriend or a boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend. It's in second place. Well done, sir. Okay. Pedro says fat. Oof, amen to Pedro, man. Yeah. The more you try and make it go away, the more it comes back. Is fat there? Is fat there? No, it's not. Sorry, guys. It was a great answer. Let me tell you something. I sympathize with that right now. Okay, next. Min says weeds. In the garden, weeds. How do you say weeds in Spanish? I don't even know.
Malas hierbas.
Malas hierbas. Okay. Weeds. It's not there, Min. Sorry. It's not there. Pedro says addiction. Wow, we went serious. An addiction. An addiction. I'm going to give it to him. Well done, Pedro. Here I actually have a bad habit. A bad habit. Un mala costumbre, would you say? Bad habit?
Well, una mala costumbre o un mal hábito.
Una mala costumbre. That's why I didn't get any of the last. Okay. Mal hábito. Okay, so a bad habit is there. It's in 7th place. Well done. 6 of 100 humans said that. All right, let's continue. Bad habits also said Min, so you can share that. Although Min was spot on. Sorry, Min. I didn't read down. Okay, pests. Min says pests. So pests can be like bugs or rats. So pests. Uninvited wildlife. Is pests there? Yes, Minnie's killing it today. Straight from the Netherlands, straight into our chat, just killing it. Okay, yeah, pests is there. It actually says bugs, but pests is a much more eloquent answer. It's in 3rd place with 16 of 100 humans saying pests or bugs. Wow, the 100 humans were showing some sexism. Yeah, they were. Okay, so let's continue. Filth, dirt, says Pedro. Filth. Is filth there? You guys only have 4 more to get. You're actually doing very, very well. Is filth there? No, it's not. Sorry, guys. Min says, we aren't being sexist enough for the 100 humans. Okay, sorry if we're a little distracted. There's things going on in the background. Okay, let's continue. Bills, says Urs. Bills. And bills, something you try to get rid of, but always seem to come back. They are. But the 100 humans didn't say so. Sorry. Okay. Min says mold. Mo, you say in Spanish. Mold. Is mold there? No, it's not. Sorry. As an unwanted thing that people can't get rid of, I identify with these answers, says Min. Min is the number one answer. No, he's not. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, we're going to speed run this. We're going to get through these, Natch, you and I. Okay? All right. If you know the answers in the chat. Ooh, Min says debt. It's not there, Min. It's not there. But it's a good answer. It's not there. Hair, says KNDY. How are you doing, KNDY? Hair. Something you try to get rid of, but always comes back. Let me tell you something, KNDY. It doesn't always come back. I'm a good example of that. Is hair there? It's not. Sorry. Let's go in for some clues. All right, Natch. You know, you've had a partner for a long time. You're looking for a little intimacy. And they turn to you and say, oh, I can't. I have a blank. What do you think it might be?
A headache?
A headache, Natch! A headache. Something you try to get rid of but always comes back. A headache. Or as my ex-girlfriend used to call it, a rob. Okay. Okay, headache says Min, Pedro, well done. Unwanted hair rob, says the bridge. Couldn't resist, says KNDY. All right, next one. This is the 5th most popular. This was actually used for hunting by the native people of Australia. Used for hunting. It's a stick that is thrown. Ooh. Do you know what it's called, Natch? Do you know what it's called? Yeah, there is chaos going on in the background. I know, it's quite distracting. Pedro says, a boomerang. Well done. It's there. Well done. Okay, we're nearly through this. My hair is simply... Se muda. My hair has simply moved. Australians' biggest export, but also their biggest import. All right, here we go. Next one is... Okay, next one. How do I give you a good clue for this one? There is no cure for this illness, Natch. Maybe chicken soup, vitamin C. Try to get rid of it, but it always comes back. What is it?
A cold.
A cold. Well done, sir. Flu, said Pedro. Well done, well done. I mean, I'm not going to say that. All right. Finally. Okay. Teenagers get this because of their oily skin. Teenagers get these because of their oily skin, I would say. Or because at that age. It's just the age you get these things. What do you think it is, Natch? Pedro and Min think they know. Natch is a little confused. Here we go. Pedro said pimples. Min says acne. They're both right. Well done. It's the number one answer. All right, let's very quickly go through the list. In position number 7. When I asked 100 humans to name something you try to get rid of but always comes back, we had a bad habit. In position number 6 was a headache. A headache with 8 of 100 humans saying that. In position number 5 was a boomerang. A boomerang. In position number 4 was a cold or flu. In position number 3 was bugs or pests, as Min said. A bug. Okay, in position number 2 is a man, woman, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. And in position number 1 was a pimple or acne. Well done. Okay, let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news.
Okay, here we go. Complete the news. How does this work? I will give you a title, a titular, a headline for a piece of news. You guys have to guess the missing information in order to complete the news. Here we go. So here we go. If you're one of the many people that are watching right now, by the way, and you're too nervous to express your opinion, this is your moment because all you have to write is A, B, or C. If you know the answer, don't spoil it for people. Just play along. Is there a brawl going on behind you guys or something? No, someone seems to have fallen and are quite ill. As soon as the show's over, we're going to run over and see what's happening. Okay, here we go. Here's a piece of news. A Bank of England economist says people need to accept blank. So a Bank of England economist says people need to accept blank. Is it A, that getting drunk will be more expensive? Is it B, that they will never retire? Or is it C, that they are poorer? They are more poor. Okay, A, B, or C. A Bank of England economist says people need to accept blank. Is it A, getting drunk will be more expensive? B, that they will never retire? Or C, that they are poorer? What do you think? What do you think, Natch?
Hey.
A? You think that getting drunk, yeah, because, let's face it. It's very important. In England. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of C's. I'm seeing 3 C's, 3 B's. Okay, it's a tie between C and B. And there is no tiebreaker. No. C. Okay, so C is the one in the lead. Everyone says C, that they are poorer. Let's see. Okay, let's get a drum roll. Bank of England economists say people need to accept that they are poorer. The Bank of England's top economist has said people in the UK need to accept that they are poorer, with otherwise prices will continue to rise. Who Pill told a podcast in the US that there was a reluctance to accept that, yes, we are all worse off. Worse off means your money doesn't stretch as far as it should. He said in response to higher bills and other costs rising, workers had responded by asking for wage increases and businesses were charging more. UK inflation, the rate of which prices rise, was 10.1% in the year to March. Wow, it's incredible. It's incredible. The rate dipped last month from 10.4%, but that does not mean prices are falling. It's, isn't it just disgusting? Blaming people for asking for more money, blaming inflation on that. Doesn't that make you angry, guys? Look, friends, that was it. We don't have time for the last piece of news, and Natch and I are keen to see that our colleague back there is okay. So let me just resume what you've heard in the show today. We spoke about a TikToker being confused and brought to tears when strangers refused her charitable offer. We spoke about Twitter's verified checkmark becoming a badge of dishonor. We also, in today's unpopular opinion, spoke about whether the good old days were really as good as we think, and we asked what's hard to get rid of to our 100 humans. Friends, thank you so much for being here. So many things you could have been doing today. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with us, and it means the world. I'll see you tomorrow.